everyone. This is Allison Sugarman. I'm a senior coordinator with Shaklee, and I just returned from my first ever dream trip to Los Cabos, Mexico. Shaklee knows how to treat you. It was quite an amazing trip, but one of the things I did do while I was there, besides relax, was to talk to as many master coordinators as I possibly could. It was a recommendation from my upline that I get out and meet and get tips and suggestions from people so that I too can get myself to master coordinator. So this was too valuable of information for me to share just with my team, so I thought that I would pass this along to all of you. You have to know that the videos are not first class. They're not, sometimes it's too dark. Sometimes we just had the little lights that were overhanging our dinners on the beach. Sometimes there's music in the background, but just know that I did have the opportunity to speak with 20 Master, Senior, Presidential, and Lifetime Master Coordinators, and the information they shared was worth every bit of time that we spent together. So I want to thank them all, and I believe there were 60 Master Coordinators on this trip. I got to 20 of them. I didn't want to interrupt people while they were in their bathing suits, so I did just get to as many as I could, but this information is very, very, very valuable. So please take a look. Jeannie and Steve, I would like to ask if you could possibly give my team members one or two suggestions on what you think are the top 2 things they could do to get to Master Coordinator.
Well, I'll start. I think for me, especially being in a place like this, Allison, I wanted to be a master coordinator. So I think the first thing you have to figure out is if you want to be a master. For me, I just wanted to be in a place and have fun with other people that were like friends and family, but yet everybody moving forward at something really good, you know, that's exciting in life. So I didn't want to miss out. That was my reason. So I think first we have to want it. You know, we really wanted to be master. I didn't determine that, could I be in 5 years, could it be in 10 years, whatever it was. That's where I wanted to be. I wanted to live this life of freedom and fun. And I think the second thing is I knew in order to do that, I'd have to accept the fact that not everybody was going to join me. But all I could do was go out there and show this to people. And when I say show it, we did business appointments. Did they all join us? No. But we did lots of business appointments. We did 3 to 5 a week. Do you think people joined us? No. But we got a lot of customers, we got a lot of practice, and we got good at what we were doing, because we needed those first levels. So I think the thing that I would suggest is just make a decision. Just keep showing the plan, show it enough so that you find your 6, actually 8 people, and just don't give up till you find them. Because I think that's, maybe we were a little stupid, but we did not give up till we found them. And sometimes it was heartache, sometimes it was disappointment, but man, when you find an Allison, you know, and you find somebody, there are so many Allisons in the world, and just go out there and find them. That's my advice. Just don't stop till you find them, and you will.
Thank you.
Well, if I could give you any advice, first of all, I think setting a goal to be a master coordinator is a good one. Obviously, it's the pinnacle of success in our business. However, what I would really recommend people do is, and you've heard this before, I'm sure Allison has mentioned this to you, I would suggest that you really have a real good reason for wanting to build a business with Shaklee at all, to begin with. A deep meaning, a deep purpose, and an understanding of how our business operates, and then have a process. Have a roadmap to follow, and never look back. Because if you do, if you have a strong why, and you have a process and a roadmap to follow, undoubtedly you're going to become a master. It just falls into place. But I'm also going to recommend that you enjoy the journey every step, because there are benefits with Shaklee at every level, and I really recommend that you savor every benefit that you earn. You deserve it.
Well, do what we did. We fell in love with the trips. Our first trip to San Francisco, it was like, this is heaven. I love the way they treat you. So we just, every year we take a look. What do we have to do to make the next trip? we would do it. Best thing, we find ourselves at a new rank or a new level of accomplishment, and you do that for 5 or 6 years, and you're a master coordinator.
I'm Laura Hostetler. A great time here. So, a couple of things. One thing that I've always said for the last 10 years is my motto has been stay constant, stay consistent, and stay persistent. It's not necessarily about how fast you run it, but those three things. And the other thing is that my parents were great examples of this, and never stop talking to people. Now, not at them, but in other words, communicating with people, and whatever that may be, asking great questions, inviting people. Everywhere we went, we always have, my parents would always have a catalog or something to hand out to people. Today's world, we can use that with an app or things like that. So those would be, there's a lot of things, mindset, all those things, but to me, those are the two big things. That's common with every master is they've never stopped, because you never know when you're going to hit that gold mine. So never stop.
I can only tell you the things we did. Okay, and I recommend this to everybody that we sponsor in, and when we worked with Steve and Jeannie, we told them the same thing. And you know, it's the age-old thing that we talk about. Some do, some don't, so what? Who's next? Okay? And when I first got in the business with Carol, who now is my wife, and she was not my wife at that time because I was a single parent for a couple of years, one of the things that I've always taught some of the salespeople that I have hired. Now, I'm an entrepreneur. I've never worked for a company, and I've built my companies. I've been rich and poor, and I really prefer being rich. And this is a fun business, and I didn't understand that in the beginning, because you're working with like people that you are. And I've always thought to myself that if I could get 100 people to say no to this business, I could be very successful, because if I got 100 people to say no, I would probably get 20 to say yes. And those are the people I work with. And so many people are afraid to talk about the business. I mean, this is a very sophisticated and a very rewarding business. As a career, it is unapproachable. You can't find another career that offers you the conventions like we have, the trips like we have. My wife and I have been on 42 different countries, thanks to Shackley. And so I cannot encourage anybody who's watching this more to study the marketing plan, talk to somebody who's been successful in it on a one-on-one basis, and set your goals, and then fulfill your goals. And I always say, you know, and I say it to this day, some do, some don't, so what is next? Next, this business. 90% of the people you talk with don't understand. They think it's selling, they think it's something else, and that's okay. They're a no. And you're going to get better, because see, by the time you get 100 no's, you're going to be an expert at sharing this business. And whoever's watching, good luck.
Okay, so the first suggestion is that you want to live the Shackley lifestyle. You need to use the products yourself. Of course, you want results to show for it. I used to be fatter than this, and I started using the 180, lost a lot of weight. And you know, my friend's mom was interested, and she wanted to ask me about the products. And I got her in, and she kind of introduced 2 more people underneath me. So, you know, she was pretty much my first, I think, customer and distributor that I brought in. Second advice, let's see. You want to befriend people, and you want to gain their trust. Once somebody trusts you, they're more inclined to believe whatever you say, and don't take advantage of that. Except for introduce people for Shackley, but you know, they're more inclined to listen to you, and they're more inclined to believe you. I think that's it.
It's a long-term program, but here I am at my tender age of whatever, and I live on residual income. That means that I'm drawing an income that my business is still running, but I'm earning an income as if I was working. Can't do it anyplace else that I know of.
Exactly. Perseverance.
Perseverance.
All right.
Fastest way to master coordinator is to never give up. on your dream, to make sure you really know what your why is, and to focus on that, because you're going to have ups and downs. You're going to have disappointments. People you think are going to do something, they're not. People that you don't think are going to do something will just come out of the blue and do things. And I see so many people that give up right before greatness starts to happen. And the second thing is to really work on your own self-talk. That was the hardest thing for me, because I just grew up with a lot of negative self-talk to myself. I was my worst enemy. And when I would look back on my Shaklee career, when it was growing, is because I was really talking to myself in a positive way. And when it wasn't growing, it was me. That was the difference. I was the one saying, oh, nobody wants to hear about this. Nobody's gonna be interested. I don't know anybody, blah, 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 blah. And it would come true because that's what I was telling myself. But when I would tell myself, hey, I'm not the only person out there on this planet that is excited about these products, and when I turn it around, literally people would start coming out of the woodwork. So work on your self-talk, never ever ever give up, and next you'll be joining us in Mexico too.
Well, first of all, you all need to be here. It's fantastic in Los Cabos, and we've been in the industry for about 27 years, had a fantastic time with Shaklee. And if I can give you a couple of quick tips, is to plug into your team and make sure you learn and grow, because sometimes people want to earn before they grow. And it's like going to college. You know, you go to college for 4 years or 5 years, and you work 8 hours a day, and you don't get paid for doing that. Then you come into this industry, and you want to be a millionaire in the next 6 months. So what I've learned is that I used to go to every single event, and I got with a leader that was plugged in. That means that was doing the business like Allison, and sitting down and having a monthly goal and not getting too wrapped up in the details. Yes, the ingredients are great, what's in the product. What's more important is your dream or your desire, or what inspires you to move ahead. If you don't have that, you'll probably be gone in 6 months or a year, like so many people do in every type of business, not just networking. People quit things too quick. So think about your kids when they first ride their bike and they start, have training wheels, and you take them off and they fall off. Well, as a parent, we go over and pick them up, and we pick them up maybe 5 times, 10 times, 100 times. We never tell them that they're going to lose or quit, and that's what you must do as an adult. So a couple of tips: stay plugged in, be inspired, read a lot of books, learn and grow. Don't miss the global convention. We never miss one in 25 years in Orlando.
Well, we're here in Paradise, and the best thing about it is with Shaklee people. That's what's so good. But you're asking for a tip.
I'm asking for a tip, yes.
And the best tip I can give at this point, build an organization. There's a big difference between building an organization and looking for a director, or a couple of directors. I know we will get directors in the process of building an organization, but it's a whole different mindset. It's a whole different way of thinking. And in Shaklee, we have an opportunity to build organizations, but many people are not thinking that way. So my best advice is to sit down and figure out what is the difference between building a large group or building a director here and there. And the way we work with people will be different, because I'll just give you one example. If I'm looking for a director, I'm looking for somebody who's going to find a lot of customers. But if I'm looking for an organization, a large organization, I'm looking for leaders.
Well, Allison, back in New York, almost all the sales leaders know that when we got started, there were 2 words that made a difference in our lives. And those 2 words were share and a sponsor. I'm going to talk about the share part, and Evelyn is going to refer to the sponsor. When we focus on sharing in the spirit of giving people what we have, is the best way to create and build strong relationships. As you can see by now, anyone with a minimum experience could realize that the business, the Shaklee business, is based on relationships. It's based on building connections that are going to stay forever. Now, you have the products that are the highest quality in the market. That's a reason to have a strong relationship with somebody. All what you need to do is increase the quality of your service to the level of the quality of the products. Service and the quality of the products are going to build a strong relationship with the people, whether they want to just use the product, whether they want to share the products, or whether they want to build a network. That relationship between you and them is going to be important. So that's what we call share, and I wish you happy sharing from here all the way to Playa del Carmen.
First of all, I want to congratulate you for being here.
Thank you.
It's very important for the team because now you can go back home and tell about what's going on here. Shaklee is a magnificent company, the product, the business opportunity, and everything that we talk in our hometown meetings is true. And now you have the testimony of it. In order to enjoy all the Shaklee benefits, it's important to have a vision. What do you want to? What is the purpose of what are you doing? Why you want to share the Shaklee opportunity? And part of sharing the vision with other people is developing a team. The team is very important because with the team you can do great things. The team needs to work together, need to love each other, and need to value all the talents that each of one of you have. As I understand, you have 3 people in your team. So if the team help each other and each one of them develop their own team, definitely great things are going to happen.
Hi guys at home, it's so good to see you all. Sort of, but this is great. You're missing a great opportunity. This is wonderful. A couple of the things that I found that helped me get to Master Coordinator, that was first you have to remember to be nice to people. I always made it, and I know it sounds silly, but I always made it easy for people to get the product. I always delivered it, or I grouped my orders under one person so they split shipping and things like that. That also, I still have the same customers for 37 years, so it does do something about being nice. Another thing is that the money is there. I know it's there. I don't focus on the money. Focus on how many businesses you can build to help the world, to save people, to help them feel better. And that's kind of been my internal mantra, is I'm helping the world. It's a better place to live. And so it goes with your household products or nutrition to feel better. You know, Shaklee gives you 5 more years of a better life health-wise just by using supplementation. So y'all go for it. This is so much fun.
I think one of the most important things for me was, before I did anything, I would ask myself the question, is this going to get me to my future? Because I used to volunteer a lot and do a lot of different things, and I found that if I don't ask myself that question, I don't prioritize for the things that are going to get me where I want to go.
Thank you.
I think, first of all, you have to decide. And what I mean decide is, it doesn't matter what your upline does, what your downline does, whether the next 6 people say no, whether you have 5 in-home parties where nobody shows up. You've decided you're going to be a master no matter what happens, and you're just going to make it happen, which means you've got to be consistent. You've got to continue to put in the effort. But I think the thing that it took us a while to figure out is that it's not about Shaklee, it's not about us, it's about them. And once we learned how to ask questions and draw people out and find out what they cared about, what their needs were, what their goals were, and then we could figure out if there was a fit for Shaklee, it just made it a whole lot easier than us trying to pitch them on why Shaklee is so wonderful before we understood anything about them. So that's really where it starts.
Dawn and Bill Murphy from Pennsylvania. We've been in Shaklee since 1970. And our tips are: make a decision, make a commitment, be yourself, and have fun, and don't quit.
That would be my suggestion. Don't ever give up. Had we given up years ago, we wouldn't have experienced all these wonderful trips, a multitude of cars, and of course meeting different people from all over the world. So stick with it. There's going to be peaks, there's going to be valleys. You're learning in the valleys. When you're riding the peaks, you can't get any sweeter than Shaklee Lifestyle.
Any suggestions?
You know, I don't know even know whether it's the fastest. It maybe is more important that it is the most solid, the most secure, and the one that includes the most people. Because in order to become a master, we can't do it by ourselves. So the more teams that we can include who are seeing growth, organizational development, the better off everyone is. And that's going to come by being more interested in the other people than it is in being interested in us. If I'm looking to build myself to master, then I'm looking at everybody else as being something that I need. If instead I turn it around and I'm looking to build everyone to master on their own, then I'm working to support them to find other people. So it isn't about me, it's about them, and then everybody grows and builds.
Well, I think the first thing that comes to mind is balance. It's really important to always be offering both the business and the product, because they are both stupendous, and it's out of balance if you don't. And become your own best listener, because if you ask questions and then be quiet and listen to what they say, they will tell you what their needs are. So you'll know what direction to go in. In our world, if somebody had offered us just strictly product, what we needed was money, because Rocky was laid off airline pilot. So the opportunity was really important for us.
I would say the one big thing is just we understood what the fundamentals were, and we worked the fundamentals. We stuck with the fundamentals. We don't jump on programs and jump around a lot. My question in the beginning was, okay, what makes people successful? And it's always the fundamentals. It's asking questions, talking to people, getting appointments. It's the real simple things.
We're talking a lot about Master Coordinator now because it's so doable. And one of the, here is this beautiful night, the last night of this wonderful trip, and we just you realize what a special thing it is to be in the Shaklee family. So getting to Master Coordinator really kind of begins with an inside job, right? It begins with your thinking and deciding why you want to do that. And I always tell our folks, there's always two reasons: what it would mean for you, and then what it would mean for others. And when you know that, then you have the motivation to do the work that will come with it.
Hey everybody, my name's Sean Gray. My wife Carmen and I live in Minnesota when we're in the States, Beijing, China, probably 2/3 of the time, where we kind of work and build our team in Asia. And if I had to, off the top of my head, without any preparation, think about what a couple of tips would be to clear the noise. Number one, clear the noise away in your life, because life is full of noise. Social media is a lot of noise. Some of it's good, some of it's bad. But if you join Shaklee from a business perspective and you want to do something, you want to accomplish something, then just take a moment and clear everything away from your head, clear everything away from your life, clear everything away, and just say, this is where I want to be. Okay, so if this is where I want to be, I'm going to walk to that point. I'm going to stop. Instead of saying, here's where I want to be in the future, put yourself mentally in that spot, and then turn around and look back and say, what did I do to get here? So you think about where you are, where you believe you want to be, not where you are today. And then say, all right, what steps did I have to take? What did I do? What did I have to change about myself as a person? What did I have to change about myself as a leader? What did I have to change about myself as how I communicate? What did I have to change about myself as far as all these other things? So you change yourself first, and then we start to say, who am I looking for? And recruit the right kinds of people. A lot of people are going to fit in a consumer-driven side of it, but if we're going to build a business, we need business thinkers, business builders. And so go recruit those kinds of people that are like you, that want what you want, see what you see, and are willing to put effort towards it. So clarity in your head gives action. When you're confused, then you kind of end up the whole day kind of going in circles. So clarity in your mind about where you want to go, and then follow that path, and you'll do great. Rock and roll. Master Coordinator.